With the question of the day, and it kind of relates to exactly what you've seen. Not kind of, it does relate to exactly what you saw. Do you think that the criticism of the police handling of gender-based violence cases is justified, and why? And we kind of looked at this in the light of during the lockdown, you've seen how the police have been managing, policing our streets here in South Africa and doing things, particularly when it comes to alcohol and cigarettes and other things like people breaking the lockdown. But what about gender-based violence? What happens there? And there tends to be a big criticism towards the police. But we want to ask you, about how you feel. What are your views on this? Do you think that they are as strong, or can there be more done? But that's the question we're putting out to you this morning. #MorningLive @MorningLive SABC.
Right, moving along to the news diary, and let's take a look at some of the stories that we'll be following up on here on SABC. Health Minister Dr. William Kize is returning to the Eastern Cape today for a 2-day visit starting in Butterworth. Dr. Kize will also go to Mthatha and to Lebode as part of his oversight of the province's COVID-19 response.
The bail application of the police service's former head of procurement, James Ramanjalom, is expected to continue at the Pretoria Magistrates Court today. Ramanjalom is one of 16 police officers and private citizens who were arrested last week, Thursday, you'll remember, and charged with fraud, theft, corruption and money laundering.
And just taking a look at those statistics once again, according to figures released by the Health Ministry last night, total number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in South Africa is now at 55,421. The number of deaths, 1,210. A total of 31,505 people have since recovered, which brings the number of active cases to 22,706.
And here are those information lines for you. The 24-hour hotline 0800 029 999, and the WhatsApp, that's the support service. Also, just send a message saying hi to 0600 123 456 and you'll be connected.
All right, just moving to the provincial breakdown on the statistics. In the Western Cape, still leading those numbers with 36,021 positive cases. Gauteng has 7,195, 7,154 for the Eastern Cape. The KwaZulu-Natal, 3,347. Northwest, 657. Free State, 401. Limpopo has 257 positive cases. Mpumalanga, 207. And the Northern Cape, 125.
All right, your tests conducted, just under 1 million tests already conducted there, as you can see that figure. Confirmed cases, 55,421. The recoveries, 31,505. Active cases now in South Africa are 22,706, and the death toll is sitting at 1,220. Quick look at global figures. Up 110,000 from yesterday. We're sitting at 7 million confirmed cases. The death toll is now sitting at 405,000 cases. That's up 3,500 deaths from yesterday. The United States still the top there, unfortunately, with the leading figure of 115,000 deaths and over 2 million infections. Brazil, again, this country still something to certainly be watching, because I think there was a court of law that came through and actually said that it was illegal what they were doing, withholding figures. So now they have to report their figures. However, I'm not seeing an update for this morning, but those figures are the ones that we do have available to us. And then finally, Sakina, I just thought I'd highlight this to you. There was also an interview done with a whole bunch of world experts when they look into health stats, and they were looking at the data, looking at the trends in each country. They named the top 7 countries that are a worry with regard to coronavirus. The top 7 countries are, firstly, India, then Brazil, and then South Africa, followed by Iran, Mexico, and Russia, and of course the United States on that list as well. So I found that quite interesting and sobering. So yeah, let's not become complacent when we, out of I suppose 7 countries, are ones that to watch with regard to how things are progressing.
Yeah, absolutely, Leanne. Right, let's move on to those trending topics now. First up, #Tsegofatso Pule, and the story we had in the news, and we saw that package by Thabiso Sithole as well, and her funeral service taking place this morning. Tsegofatso, of course, 8 months pregnant, found hanging from a tree, and she was was murdered, and this one making international, news as well, Leanne, because of just the gruesome nature of it. But not to forget this whole gender-based violence issue. Naledi Pangindawo from the Western Cape,
yes.
She had a protection order against the father of her 2 children who killed her. Let me say allegedly was responsible for her death, and she was hacked to death as well. And people bringing all of these cases up, and so many, Leanne, it is absolutely heartbreaking when you see all the cases that people are now putting out on social media after the Tsegofatso story came to light.
Oh, it's a devastating story. So remember, at 7:10 we'll be crossing to Tabiso Sitole, who will be at the funeral of that late beautiful girl and her 8-month baby, because 2 people died in this killing. It's horrific. The story is very hard to get our heads around. Another look at another trending topic is Becky Cele, and I think this has got to do with our question of the day as well. There's been a bit of criticism thrown at our minister, just saying he's so hard on cigarettes and alcohol, but when it comes to gender-based violence, do we hear from him enough? Is he strong enough with regard to how he speaks about it? So that's something, and also saying, this is a big thing that he's been up on and against about alcohol, and he's very vocal against that. But people saying, we want you as vocal against the gender-based violence. Here's one tweet I can read for you. Someone once said, "I wish Becky Cele was hating rapists, murderers, kidnappers like the way he hates alcohol." So, that's just one of the many tweets that have been thrown his way to get him trending.
Right, and just one more as we come up to time for news headlines. #Ferguson's. And yet again, we've seen this several times over. Connie and Shona Ferguson and their production company, of course, once again in the spotlight when another actor has come out accusing them of ill treatment yet again. So this is why the Fergusons, same old reasons, Leanne, trending for that yet again.
Oh, goodness. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. Those are the trending topics for this morning. And we, of course, now are up to headline time. Let's bring you up to speed with the latest in the news.